So keep it coming. Mr. Reed doesn't even know what I look like. Give him a picture of me and I'm sure he wouldn't know what I look like. But he can say that I'm 10 times worse than you, but I am 10 times worse than you, but put a picture in the middle of the valley next to him, that is Haydn Hughes. He can't tell you.
That's right.
But I want Mr. Reed to know that I feel honored to be called in the same sentence as the Honorable Hubert Benjamin Hughes. And like Hubert, nobody can knock him for this and say he hasn't. This is why he's ostracized all over this country. Like Hubert, I will fight for the people of Anguilla. I will fight for the people of this country every single day, even though I'm not vying for the political office or any special assistant job. I know a lot of people out there may be saying that. You'll be surprised. I never entered the chief minister's office during Hubert Hughes' term in office. Never once. Never once. I have always voiced my concerns about this country. I have even criticized Hubert Hughes. We have had months, sometimes on length, where we didn't even speak to each other. And he's my father. And if he said something that I thought was crap, I did something that I thought was crap, I said it was crap. I said it was crap.
That's right.
But if the United Front does something that is crap, I say something that is crap, all of the supporters eat up and say, good crap, good crap.
But I don't know that better. You see them last night laughing over nonsense. Laughing over nonsense last night.
I will continue to fight for the people of this country.
You gotta come better than that.
Until the day I die.
That's right.
And I will not do it, get my pension, a salary, and being chauffeured around. They said here last night, the government is responsible for your lower telephone bills. I am telling you right now, Kennedy Hodge fought for liberalization, and it was also mandated throughout the entire Caribbean region that monopoly should stop. It was mandated. Anguilla isn't the only Caribbean country that telecommunications have been liberalized. The entire region had it. And while this has occurred, the government of Anguilla is about to slam a 5% tax on your telephone bills, according to the Minister of Finance. That he set it down under the almond tree. And asked me, he didn't see me under the almond tree. They are planning on increasing duties on every single thing in this country. This is a fact. And I can explain it. The Minister of Finance said that they plan on increasing the 1% surcharge on duty. If they increase the 1% surcharge on duty, it means that everything that is payable to duties will be increased. And those increases will be demonstrated in the shops. You will have to pay more. But go ahead, go to the front. They are planning to tax you to death. I am saying over here tonight, Stone Ground, they are even planning to tax your land out of you. And you can't forget the physical planning bill. Don't forget it. While they expand the revenue base in agreement with the British government through taxation, they gave Viceroy and Flag tax breaks that will expire in the 2030s. When my little cousin there across the street will be an adult, it will expire. As a matter of fact, here is what they gave Captain Luca on the 7th of July 2009. On page 31, corporate income tax. The government agrees that should any corporate tax based on income or asset or equity holdings be introduced in Anguilla, the developer, along with any shareholders, parents, subsidiaries, subtenants, or affiliates in Anguilla, will be exempted from payment of such tax for a period of 20 years following the execution of this MOA. These are the facts. Whoever wanted that post can keep it. I have enough. I know they're saying that we're telling lies. Last night, Mr. Banks stood on this podium and said that they heeded the advice of the people. They heeded the advice of Antil. I was around, and Mr. Banks knows this. Here is what Antil said in the negotiations to capture the club. Antil said, we will give the people of Anguilla at at no cost to the people of Anguilla, no money in, 20% stake in Captain 20% stake, no money in. They were given as a gift. When I asked, it doesn't matter, 20%, 20% in. When I asked the Minister of Finance, what changed? He said, during the course of negotiations, things changed. But today, that 20%, we have to pay $238.10 per share, which will amount to tens of thousands of dollars that we have to pay for those shares. It doesn't matter who is supporting the agreement. It matters what we get at the end of the agreement. We need to negotiate to ensure that they give yearly scholarships to students to study on the basis of what the needs of the countries are. We need to negotiate to ensure that they give upgrades to the hospital and to the schools. We need to negotiate that they put money into our sporting programs, into our youth development programs. We need to negotiate on Anguilla's behalf. And we need to ensure that this is written in the memorandum of agreement. Instead, we negotiate for them to bring in every single worker into this country. As I was saying to you, and I'm speaking to you, especially those who live overseas, Anguillians living overseas, because you've been fooled too many times, and I'm glad that we have the technology now to speak to you. The government of Anguilla have negotiated to give Captain the opportunity to bring in every worker. And I will quote from the memorandum of agreement. It states, the government agrees we are shown to be necessary to grant work permits to specially skilled personnel associated with the design, planning, construction, and sale of the project, provided that said individuals and firms satisfy the requirements of the laws, regulations, and policies associated with the issuance of work permits. The developer has represented to the government that it may be necessary for the developer and the resort operator to recruit and import key staff for the operation and management of the project. And where this is shown to be necessary, the government agrees to grant the work permits to those individuals meet the requirements of the laws, regulations, and policies associated with the granting of the work permits. The developer has represented to the government that it may be necessary for the developer and the resort operator to recruit lesser skilled staff. Lesser skilled staff. These are the facts, Anguilla. These are the facts, not rumor and innuendo. We need to negotiate on Anguilla's behalf. Instead, we have negotiated to allow Captain Luca, and I want to quote, because they say that we're lying. The government also agrees in principle to waive custom duties on the importation of construction materials, furniture, furnishings, fittings for a period of upwards of 20 years. The services of all construction plant, equipment, and vehicles, and the provision of the materials necessary for the development of the project shall be sourced from construction and heavy equipment services providers and material providers and Anguilla, subject to the prices thereof being competitive in the Anguillan context. Should construction plant, equipment, vehicles, and materials not be available at competitive prices in the Anguilla context, and not be available at Anguilla in sufficient number, subject to the reasonable approval of the government, the developer may import into Anguilla, free of custom duties, all required construction plant, equipment, vehicles, and materials, provided that they be re-exported at the end of the project. And they say that we are lying. We are not lying. I was shocked when the government said last night that it took back 12 acres of beachfront land for the people's enjoyment. I want the people of Anguilla to know that every inch of beach land in Anguilla belongs to you and I. Every inch of it. You have no private beaches in Anguilla. You can bathe anytime. Those beaches are mine. I hope you remember that. Anguilla We need a change. Not even in America, government is elected for more than 8 years. Yet we have 10 years of the front end of destructive policies and policies of victimization.